Hey, Nikki Brown here. No matter where you are and what part of the world you are in, I hope that you're having a good day. So, I wanted to talk about, I guess, a serious topic, but um, I'm handling it with grace. We'll say that. um, just a little bit of my story. I was living in North Carolina. Um, wasn't able to find an apartment that was in my budget. So I moved to Atlanta with my relatives. Um, that didn't work out so well. We'll just say that. And so, and due to no fault of my own, so I decided that I was going to um, take my stuff from their home, which um, I took the majority of the stuff that I owned. Um, um, and I just basically so when I moved from North Carolina, I basically put my stuff in storage and packed up my car with as much stuff as I could fit in it. So basically, when I left their house, I pretty much did the same thing: pack up as much stuff in my car as I could. When I came down, I was driving a Lincoln MKZ. It was a 2009, and then by the time I left, I was in my 2008 Lexus, so a SUV. So I went from a four-door sedan to a SUV. Um, and there are a lot of parking lots that are considered safe havens. So I found a parking lot that I felt comfortable staying in. It was close to my job at the time. And that's where I slept, right? Um, as far as a shower, there were times where I just had a basin in my car and I would bathe that way. Um, of course, there are options that you can get a gym membership, Planet Fitness, or bathe at a truck stop. I also had a friend who lived um, about 30-40 minutes from where I was working, and you know, she would let me come to her house and take showers and get some rest, right? Lay in a bed, stuff like that. So I would do that, and fast forward to April of 2021. I basically got hurt at work, and um, the disability part of it was fine, which worked out for a while. But then, because it ended up being a long-term situation, the workers' compensation part of it was not. Even the disability part, like I had to wait so long that bills basically got behind because I ended up waiting months. Like I used what I had, and after a while, if you're out of work for over a year, after a few months, whatever money or resources you may have had, they're typically exhausted within a certain time frame. So I did what I could. Um, I couldn't really do much. Couldn't do my laundry, couldn't buy groceries, so I started having my groceries delivered from Instacart, from Walmart, from Kroger, wherever, I could at that time. And I couldn't do laundry, so the laundry didn't get done. A few times I washed out a couple pieces by hand, but it hurt to sit, it hurt to stand, and the pain was in my back and all the way down my left leg and in my hips and buttocks, right? So this was like having a toothache in your body, right? It was really painful. It didn't matter if I, like I said, if I sat down, laid down, or stood up, which I had to kind of rotate sitting and standing, or lying down, but it still didn't give me any type of comfort, right? And I was diagnosed with sciatica, which I question whether or not that's what I had, but that's neither here nor there. So again, I couldn't do laundry, and I really didn't have anyone to help me to get things done. I need to turn the air on because the phone is overheating and I don't want the video to cut off. So, so that was pretty rough. I didn't start feeling better until June. So I started seeing a new doctor in May, and I didn't start feeling better until June of 2022. So again, this was over a year of me being in chronic pain in my whole body. If I walked too far or did too much, I would have an anxiety attack. My body would start to shake. The pain would intensify. Um, I started feeling lightheaded. It was not pretty, right? If you've ever had an anxiety attack, you'll know. And like spasms would start shooting up my back and down into my hips. It was a lot, right? So that's what I was basically dealing with by myself. Which again, this is not me complaining or anything. This is just me sharing my story. Um, so okay, I was in my car from July of 2019, and then around November I had someone say, oh, you can you can stay here for a week. And it was November, so it was like the week before Thanksgiving, and so her family was coming into town. She was like, oh, you can stay for a week, but my family's coming into town, so you have to leave. Just so happens one of my bosses at work got me a room on Thanksgiving, so I had a place to stay for that night. And then the young lady, I guess she told her family about me, and they must have felt bad, and they was like, tell her she can come back. So I ended up being able to go back for like another week. Then I went back to my car, and then um, she let me come back again. But that didn't work out. She ended up having some, I guess you would call a mental breakdown. And so I basically left there. Her breakdown, she had a lot going on. So again, she had a mental breakdown. She she ended up having to go back to, I think, Virginia with her family. So that was that. And then I think in March, maybe February or March, someone else let me stay with them. And she let me stay for maybe a week or two. And then she told me her son was coming home from school because of COVID and that I had to go. Um, then her son ended up not coming home. And so she told me I could come back. But by then, I had already found my apartment. So I moved into my apartment April of 2020. So now we are in October of 2022. So it's been a little over a year. See, a year and 2 years and 2.5 years that I've been in my apartment. And because I was basically out of work for over a year, and once I did have some type of income come in, I pretty much had to play catch up on a lot of things. I am grateful though that I earned my Master Life Coaching certification within that time frame. I also earned my Reiki certification and my yoga instructor certification within that time frame. So I made the best of the situation and I kept myself busy. So ideally, I would like to, utilize the services that I offer um, to uh, to provide for my needs, right? Or provide for my lifestyle, however you want to say that. However, you need money in order to advertise and really get things going and off the ground like you need to. So, although I was still in pain October of last year, I officially left the position that I had, and I started looking for work. So from October up until September of this year, September 6th, um, I finally um, um, was offered a job position. Um, Actually, two, and they're both part time. Uh, it actually works out better to work both of them part time, um, because it ends up being more money because then I'm working 6 days a week. But then one of the jobs, they don't schedule me on all 3 days because they have other employees that they have to schedule as well. And the company, well, it's basically a logistics company, and so under Amazon. And so Amazon pulled a few of their contracts because they have new, what they call DSPs within the warehouse, so they have to distribute the work more evenly. So it kind of is a trickle down effect. And so I've decided that and over the years I've had other people help me try to find employment, because ideally this is seed money, right? This is a stepping stone to get me to where I ideally would like to be. For those who know, I make products. Um, I've been working on that for years, and the regular customers that I did have pretty much kind of slowed down during COVID. Um, I did some cleaning, and I had a couple people, that I've worked with or that worked with me. Um, but, that didn't work out so well, especially during COVID. Um, I've done some Uber driving and Lyft driving. I've done Instacarts. But of course, while I was um, injured, I couldn't do that. I couldn't really do those things because I couldn't sit in the car. Any length of time that I sat in the car was very, very painful. But of course, I had to at some times, especially to go to my doctor's appointment, which pretty much that's really the only places I went, unless like I needed some, something where it wasn't enough for me to order delivery and I really needed it, like say some feminine product or something like that. Um, but things aren't easy, especially when you're attempting to do them by yourself, which people do them by themselves and they're very successful. Um, but when you're just constantly chipping away at it and you have a setback, sometimes you have to just readjust and figure out what you're going to do, right? So, since it seems that I'm not generating the income that I need, then that means I'm going to have to reduce my expenses. And so, I really don't have um, expenses. And if you're looking at my nails, these are press on nails. They cost $3 at Family Dollar. So don't, um, you know, it's $3. That's, you know, just, something to boost me up and help me feel better. Not that that's necessary, but I like, I wanted to do that for myself. So I did it, right? But really, the only expenses that I have are rent, gas, electric, water, of course, maintaining my car, keeping gas in it, uh, laundry. Like I'm at the laundromat right now because I had a washer and dryer for years, but the apartment that I'm in now is only a one bedroom. There's no washer and dryer hookup, and so I really wasn't able to bring my washer and dryer because it was too small, so I ended up leaving it at the storage facility. And the one of the ladies who worked there gladly took the washer and dryer. She was excited about it, as a matter of fact. So, um, sorry about that. Got a message. So, again, it's time to reduce expenses. And since I had that experience from basically uh, July to April, although again I did was able to sleep at a few homes towards the end of it. Um, uh, I spent a significant amount of that time in my car. So it seems that again, in order to reduce expenses, I need to go back to that. So I just wanted to share with you. I know when I did it before, I pretty much looked at it as a camping experience. And it's like more and more people are starting to do that now out of necessity or out of wants, or even out of curiosity. Um, and again, there are a lot of parking lots that are considered safe havens. There are places you can go to take a shower. Of course, there's plenty of places to eat. But of course, you can set yourself up in your car. You can have a generator, a hot plate, uh, a small heater, a place for your clothes, a place for your food. You know, if you decide to have a few dishes. I'm not sure. I know that I'm gonna at least have my clothes that I'll need for work. The last time I did have products in there, but like I said, sales have really been slow. Even jewelry sales, which those you know, who know I make jewelry as well. And so between the jewelry, the product making, the yoga, life coaching, Reiki, these are the products and or services that I offer. And right now, things aren't where I need them to be. And again, I do work two part-time jobs, but I don't always get hours on both. Um, and I'm just not generating the income that I need to do the things that I need to do and want to do. So I'm going to, again, reduce my expenses. I'm looking to do that by the end of December. So the plan is to put my stuff in storage, buy myself a good mattress to go in my car. I do have a couple bins that I was using before, but I may get like one of those slim bins with the drawers that pull out, and maybe keep one or two for clothes, one for products, and if there's three of them, maybe another one for something else. But it's going to be down to the bare minimum, and again, I'll put my stuff in storage, um, and that's about it. I just wanted to share that with you because you may see me broadcasting from my car. I can still do some readings. Um, oh, that's another service that I offer, my readings. And I'll have some of my books. Of course, I won't be able to have as many of my books. So I won't be able to do as much research. But I'm still going to show up and, and help as many people as I can from, where I am. Wherever that may be. Maybe the videos will get more interesting because I'll be like on location. But I just wanted to share that with you. Um, I've been doing my best to be more vulnerable with people because I normally don't tell anybody anything. Um, like even when I was in my car before, it took me a long time to admit that to people. But it is what it is, and it's part of life. And sometimes we have to do what we have to do. So that is the goal. And I love y'all. I hope that this was helpful to someone. Or informative, or if it made you laugh, like I'm good for you, whatever, however it made you feel is fine with me. As long as I was able to inspire you in some way, whether it's a good laugh, a good cry, or whatever that might be. So, as always, I love y'all. Later. Mwah.